Hello.
What's going on, bro?
What's up?
Chilling, chilling. Just got off work.
So, what do you need help with, man?
I mean, in all honesty, these just have their good and bad days. Well, maybe it's just I ain't feeling the game no more. I don't know. I'm just falling off of it.
So, you need help getting back on the horse. That's understandable. Sometimes grinding Overwatch is the worst part
Like
because you just
you
feel
can
like you
actually
can't climb.
look at my stats and you'll see like it's a decline like somewhere.
Personally, I don't really look at stats all that much. It's more of just, are you having fun of the game? If you're not having fun of the game, just try to find something that'll help revitalize that. Because if you're not having fun, there's really no point in trying, you know?
There's also multiple factors to having fun, especially with this game.
True. You just got to look at more of the positive parts. Obviously, there's a lot of negativity around just people in general, especially around in like the Plat Gold area. But
Right.
it's all personal stuff. What do I do to have fun? If your main source of fun is winning, then you're just not gonna have fun in general.
Right.
Is there any game that you want to go over, or if you have
I
any
mean,
recent replays?
mm, mm,
If not, we can go into like a quick play game real quick, and then
yeah, let's just do a quick play.
okay. I'm interested to see how he takes a turn on things because he just said it's not fun anymore, and that's kind of worried about me because if this guy isn't having fun, like it's gonna be rough to try and teach him really anything because what does he want to learn if he's not having fun? That's the kind of stuff that worries me. Is people who seek coaching because they're not having fun. That's a bit rough on both our ends. He wants to get better. He's been Plat for a very, very long time from what I'm looking at, and having to coach him through to having good games, being better is great, but him not having fun, that's the main issue, and I can't help him with that. I can't do much about that. Alright, so we're on 2 CP, which is lovely. We're running Rein Sigma double shield, they're running Rein Zarya, Moira Bap. Okay, so this is the big issue. Sim is very powerful against double shield, which is what we're running right now. And she is going to be a big counter for you. So you kind of have to try to work around that as much as possible if you're going to continue playing Reinhardt, because I see that you're a very big Reinhardt player. So people like Sim are going to be a big issue for you, especially Hanzo as well, because he can burst down that shield so well. You kind of have to work around that with trying to reduce his storm arrows effectiveness.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Alright, so at this point we know that Symmetra is a thing. She's on the left side. We have her turrets behind us. It's very good that you're shielding off at the start just to try to knock off any of that incoming damage that's going to be towards your teammates while your teammates take care of the turrets. But just be careful that now that we know that they have a Symmetra, you kind of have to play a little passive. Very good fire strike. You even got an early pickoff too, which is great. Alright, yeah, so at this point you look towards these, swing at them, fine. This is where you need to pretty much back up, because she is feeding a lot of energy off of you, and as soon as she gets to level 3 with her beam, you're pretty much done for. Your entire team is going to be wiped if she can just get up to that high level before the engagement even starts with everyone. You are the front line. You're stuck here, while everybody else is still lagging behind just a little bit. We're here with you. Mercy's lagging behind, and we had our McCree die. May's still trying to go up front, battling the Hanzo. So this is a bit rough when the main DPS, who's getting a lot of damage off on you, is not being contested by any other DPS or anybody to counter them. We have Sigma. Sigma's not going to do anything. I have to go all the way around. Okay. And now we have the other Rein and Zarya both in front of us. Literally, Rein could just charge any of us here. As soon as Sigma uses his rock, he can just charge any of us and completely team wipe us. So right now, we need to kind of back up and conserve what resources we have. This is not the thing to do. Rein can charge us. We cannot charge that Rein because of how much resources they have. They have these that are not being destroyed. They have BAP. Wait, is Hanzo still being... Yeah, Hanzo's still battling Mei. Oh, that's the teleporter. Okay. So we pretty much have the entire team right here.
Right.
We can't do anything because we have 4. They have 4. We have 2 supports, 2 tanks, no DPS. We're not going to get anywhere. Especially when they have the BAP for defense. He's very good with a Symmetra duo because he can just keep Symmetra alive. If he keeps Symmetra alive and she gets to level 3, again, team wipe. You're just sitting ducks at that point. And nobody can heal you as well.
Activating the barrier. Activated.
Good fire strike. If they're pushing up very, very aggressive, you just have to be careful of Zarya bubbles because she will want that to happen. She'll be like, hey, shoot me. And you know, go throw out a fire strike in the middle of it, and she gets 40 charge from that, whatever it is.
Let's see you get past this.
This is a good wall. You could try to communicate with your Mei. If your Mei tries to wall off somebody, you could just pin him right off the start. But just be aware if literally the rest of the team is there to back up him getting pinned, you don't want to do that. Obviously, this wall isn't perfect, so what can you do?
Ready.
Oh, you actually did get it off. I was about to say don't fire strike the bubbled Symmetra, but you did get it off when it just finished, so that's very good. I think you had 2 people there, which is great. Yeah, so this is not an ideal situation. What we want to do is, obviously, we want to avoid the dragons, but we want to get out of the spot, like, immediately. Because as soon as they use these dragons, that is what they use to either split off a team or kill a grouped number of teammates. They don't have anything to group us together yet, because Zarya hasn't been getting that much value. So we just need to leave at this point. We can go over here. We have spawn over here. Actually, I don't think there's a spawn door over here, is there? No, there isn't. But still, we can come back over here somewhere, you know, behind some more natural cover to try and stave off their dragon that they just launched at us. We're just sitting ducks here. That was very good counter charge. Too bad that I slept him. Or else that would have been a great counter charge. And then they just wipe us from there. So now we have Shatter. We know they don't have Shatter. Let's try to use that to our advantage.
I don't think I did.
Okay, so we see Hanzo, we see Zarya. Zarya is by herself on the low ground. Hanzo is by himself on the high ground. We have no idea where anybody else is. That is where you need to start asking, where is everybody else? Because if you can only see 2 members, there's something happening. And you need to know what's happening before they, you know, execute their plan, whatever it is. Trying to protect your team, very good. Especially with the one shot from Hanzo potential. It's very good to be like, hey, I'm main tank, everybody go left, and then shield everybody to go through there. Because if Hanzo takes out one of your supports, it's going to be very difficult to push. Or anybody in general. Hanzo's up top. We don't know if the Moira's there. The Moira drops down. The Hanzo drops down as well, getting killed by Sigma. So this is a good pick. This is where you can kind of start shield hopping to be a little bit more aggressive, because they have 1 less DPS to burst you down, and if you can find Symmetra and kill her, it's just easy from there. You have nobody to pretty much fight you. So yeah, at this point, as soon as you get nanoed, you should probably start swinging. They don't have anything to counter you right now until they use that grab. As soon as they use that grab, that's when you should take a shot.
Yeah, that was a fail grab. I mean, Shatter.
That's fine. even though your shatter can take you out of a grav, it doesn't mean you should use it. You have to be careful because you know that the Zarya has grav. Let's say you don't, okay? You get nanoed, you start swinging, she grabs. Your main concern at that point is to protect your team. Because as soon as they grab, they're going to try and throw everything they can at you in order to kill you with that grab. Hanzo just died, so they have no dragons right now. They just use dragons early on, so all you have to do is just put your shield up and protect your team as much as possible. You did your job, he pinned you, oh well. Very nice pin. Start swinging, fire strike him, very good fire strike.
Heal up. They're all over me. Let me get you patched.
Okay, so this is very interesting. You're very charge happy, but you're not very swing happy. So
But it just depends on like the situation.
okay, I can understand that. But the real main thing that you should be shielding so far is Hanzo. You can't really shield Symmetra because she'll just eat at your shield. You can't really shield against Moira all that much because she doesn't do a ton of damage. Zarya, yes, if she's high charged. Rein, you can't shield against him. Bap, eh. But your main concern, I would say, is probably Hanzo, yes, Zarya at some times. So you have a lot of free range to just start swinging in the middle of fights. But obviously you do want to protect your team at the same time.
Activating the barrier.
Possible.
Valkyrie's charging.
But
Objective A captured. New defense point. Objective B.
Start a blizzard this fall.
Okay, so one issue that I have with this. You're here. Your team is there.
yeah.
You charge in. Ryan pins you here. That's a big issue. Like I said, you're very charge happy. Well, no, I think I said you were shield happy. Just kidding. You do charge at some times, which are good and questionable at the same time. Some of them you get a kill, good job, clap. Other times it's a bit risky and you end up dying from it. You do not want to be the Reinhardt that just charges in because I can charge in and I'm faster than you all. Screw you, I'm going to go kill them all. You have to be aware that their entire team is here. 10 feet away from their Reinhardt. You charge in. Your team is probably 60 feet from their Reinhardt. Why can I not change? What are you doing to me, game? What is happening? Alright, weird. I can't change to you. Let me try to go back. There we go. That was weird. Alright, we'll skip back. So yeah. So now, let's see. We're using Blizzard. They're using Coalescence and Window. So at this point, what I would try to do is try to block off any sort of line of sight towards this window. Obviously, this window is very hard to block off since it's literally right in the middle. But you also have this here, which you can destroy. It's very low. You have the Moira that you can't deflect, so whatever. And he's frozen. You have this. This is probably your biggest concern. She is going to do damage to you no matter what. So it is not your problem necessarily because she's just going to do one of these. She's just going to damage you and heal up her team from probably over here. Even if you try to charge her, anybody else who has just recently died or is going to die is going to come through there and mess you up. So basically what you want to do is, if she wasn't coalescing, try to block this off as much as possible. If she is coalescing, you pretty much want to play this corner so she does a risky play by coming out here and trying to hit everybody all at once. That way Sigma can rock her and then she loses the ult completely. Also, you can capitalize on something like this, somebody who is frozen, pin them outside of the field, even though this field is, you know, I think it's... oh, okay. So Blizzard is here, and field is here. So you would have to try and pin him either here or here. I would probably suggest somewhere over here, just so Moira can't do anything. But also you have to worry about Zarya's charge. So risky plays like that. It's doing that to me again. Why are you doing that to me again? I want to be on you. Okay. So we're playing. Pin. Don't get a hit. Chase after the Zarya leaves. We see everybody else. You back up because of the turrets. We're fine.
Rocket barrage incoming.
You charge because of the barrage. That's fine. Miss the fire strike. Very good.
Yeah,
that was a bit rough. So
yeah,
I figured that much. You do want to be very very good with your predictions. I don't know if that's the right terminology or if I'm using the right words, but you do want to try to you do want to try to predict the enemy, but you don't want to look stupid when doing that, because your team's gonna end up flaming you, especially in elo like Plat. You hammer down nothing and everybody's like, dude, you're throwing the game. So you do want to predict somebody, but you also have to be careful with those predictions because sometimes stuff like that happens. So I would say save the shatter for a bigger opportunity than probably shattering one or two people that come around the corner, especially the Zarya, who is just around the corner and is now just bubbling. She probably would have just bubbled your shatter, to be honest. So you use shatter, doesn't get anybody. You're fighting him. You switch to Reinhardt. This is interesting. You switch targets a lot often, especially when your main target was him, and then you're just like, oh wait, Reinhardt. It was the same thing with the Zarya. You were fighting Zarya, then you were like, oh wait, I need to protect my team up here. You need to make up your mind between what you want to do. If you're going to fight the Zarya, fight the Zarya. If she runs back into the spawn room, fine, chase her into the spawn room. As soon as she enters through here, you can leave. But she was just chilling right here. Honestly, she could have just stayed right here. If you chase her back in the spawn room, you pin her right here. 300 HP right there. Swing and a fire strike, actually, and you'll kill her right there. You go after Soldier. And then you switch to Reinhardt. Reinhardt has armor and pretty much full HP. Soldier, no armor, and is running around trying to kill your other tank and your healers. I know he was focusing me down because he had just used, or he was going to use ult after I was focused. Oh no, wait, I was down main. Wait, where was Mercy in this? Oh, Mercy is Valking. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of an issue for you. If he is trying to get value out of trying to destroy your Valking Mercy or trying to kill your Sigma, you're going to want to kill him first. The other two people are not generally a concern. Zarya, maybe, is a bit of a high priority target right now because just of the damage output that she probably has right now. It looks like she's a pretty high charge. What is she at? She's at 70. Okay, so yeah, she's a pretty high priority target, but you want to be able to kill the squishies first. If you can fire strike them, that's 100 damage. If you can swing at them, there's a bunch more damage. The Sigma can burst down the damage that you don't do, then you go on to the next target, and then the next target. But you want to be able to focus down the enemies who can kill you, and the enemies who have the least HP. That will help you win the team fights. Besides being like, hey Rein, I have the bigger hammer, fight me.
Barrier is about to break.
You're getting pocketed, but there's the Soldier to rocket you in the back. Note that, because you had tried to swing at him at first, and then you went on to Reinhardt. It's all these different branching paths that you have to worry about. It's not your healer's fault. You were being pocketed by Mercy. It's not your DPS's fault, because your DPS weren't necessarily there for you. Pharah's doing fine. Pharah just got a kill off of the Soldier. well, after you had died to him. But then again, he was here, you were there, you decided to go for Reinhardt. If you killed Soldier, just think of how that would have progressed into everything else happening, you know? Your team is now down their main tank, and they're down 2 people. You would have killed Soldier, which means maybe Pharah would have gone off to kill Reinhardt, and then you wouldn't have died, you know? You do to get res, though, which is good. Okay, so as soon as she puts those up, you pretty much have to worry about her. Because if she can get a lot of damage off on those supports, you're going to lose this team fight. So yes, you do turn around to her. Swing at those, you can't get that one, it's fine. Shield up. Good fire strike. Shield up. That's fine, you got pinned, you did your job. That one wasn't so much your fault, because you did what you could after the res. Usually when a res happens, it's kind of in the middle of a lot of chaos, but you did what you could.
Back and ready for more.
And I also noticed that you didn't talk that much when we were in the middle of the game. Are you usually quiet when you go into competitive matches?
Nah, I was fucking concentrating, that's why.
Okay. I understand the concentration aspect, but you need to be very vocal in this game if you do want to climb, because valuable information is always coming at you, and you don't have eyes in the back of your head. You can't be in 6 places at once. You have teammates, you need to utilize their resources, you need to utilize their voices. If they're not in team chat, oh well. But if you, the main tank, has an idea or knows information that somebody doesn't know, your team is going to collapse. Reinhardt has Shatter. You know that. You don't say anything. You block the Shatter for yourself, but the Ana didn't know, or the McCree didn't know, whoever, and they get shattered because they were trying to get off Sleepy Flashbang, Sleep Dart, whatever. And that costs you the game. Good fire strike. Now you have Shatter. So this would be something like this. This is where the communication aspect was off. You have half of your team here, and I thought you were gonna go straight up.
I actually
Just walk up. You just turned and you were like, I'm going over here. You didn't say nothing about it. This is that communication thing. If you just all of a sudden turn and you're like, I'm out of here, and I have no idea what you're doing. I was gonna heal you all the way through, and I thought you were gonna use Shatter. But you went left, and I could have been headshotted. I could have been bursted down. Who knows? You know, you have to communicate to your team. Oh, but then you do go back. Sigma ults. At this point, I would say you have to worry about Reinhardt. Everybody over here, because Sigma just picked up 4 people over here. While he deals with them and while your DPS deals with them, you have to protect everybody else from the incoming damage that the people who didn't get picked up are going to bring. So we have you block the Shatter at an angle, but Sigma gets killed by the other DPS who didn't get picked up. Honestly, I would say that's more his fault than yours, because you did have your shield up and he didn't back off when he was low on health. But then again, you could have pushed up with your shield and maybe that soldier wouldn't have gotten that angle on the Sigma to kill him. Very good. Right now, you could Shatter, but we have this right here, which is the main issue. So you kind of have to be careful with shatters like this. She's going to shield dance. She's going to shield dance. She's going to shield dance. Well, wall dance, whatever you want to call it. So you kind of have to, this is one of those prediction things, where you kind of have to predict if they're going to dance around this, when's the perfect time to do this? And the correct answer is, if you can get half of them, great. If you can get the healers, even better. If you can get 3 of them, because they're all not in unison, they're all not going to jump back and forth at the same time, so getting 4 of them is subjective, but if you can get at least 2, I would say it's a very useful shatter. Let me not continue without looking at you. And right now you're being bursted down by somebody behind. Perfect time to shatter. Right here. Zarya just used bubble. She probably still has projected bubble. She does. All you have to do is slam. There's 4 people in front of you. Mei just took care of the soldier. You win. Good fire strike, though. So, you get nanoed, and then you hammer. This is what's interesting. So, when you hammer, it's like a... How do I want to put this? Let's say it's like a controlling ult. It controls the area. It moves an area. There's many ults like this. Zarya's ult puts everybody together. Sigma's ult throws everybody up in the air. You have Hammond's slam that displaces everybody up in the air as well. Reinhardt shatter, which stuns everybody for a couple of seconds. These are all valuable ultimates and abilities that displace or move enemies, you know. You using this is very essential to team wipes, but you don't have to use it when another ultimate is being combined with yours, because yours is made to be combined with, if that makes sense. So it doesn't go dragon then grab. It's usually grab then dragon. It's not EMP and then bomb. It's bomb then EMP. You get what I'm trying to say? So some of these kind of synergies will work, but you have to figure out which ones you want to use first and which ones will be more effective when you use them first. You don't need to pin him. He is at 100 HP. All you have to do is walk up to him, swing at him, fire strike at him, and then pin the Zarya. Pin the Zarya, that's 300 damage off of a 400 HP target. You're pinning a 100 HP target. That's 200 damage that could have gone to the Zarya that could have killed her. Especially while you're nanoed. That's 300 plus damage. Whatever it is. I think I went ahead 20 seconds. My bad. So you kill him. Zarya's still alive. Zarya still has bubble. She still has bubble for Reinhardt. So that's a big issue for you. You start swinging at him. You're at 400 HP. He's at 500 HP with a bubble. You're going to lose that fight. You kill her, though. Good job. He's purple. Just keep swinging. Very good. This is very good. Instinctively hearing it and immediately turning around, this is very good. But yes, that actually was a great call. As soon as he starts trying to burst down your Pharah or anybody else in your backline, start swinging at him, that's perfect. Gets a lot of the pressure off of the person being killed, and then gets more pressure onto him. Hey, I'm using my ultimate. I need to use this I need to get value out of this. You start putting pressure on him by swinging at him, he's not going to know what to do. Also, he's going to be locked onto you because his ultimate's stupid, and it locks onto the closest person. Or at least, kind of like that. You're in his face, so it'll probably lock right here.
You look tired.
So, another thing that's kind of interesting is we get the kill off of him. We turn around, we kill him. You swing, you kill her, and then you shield. I would understand the need to protect your teammates, but there's not necessarily somebody who can burst you down. Besides Soldier, there's really nobody who can burst you down right now. We do have people coming over here, and usually people do like to spawn camp these doors. So I would say instead of shielding, try to spawn camp them. Try to come up to here, or normally people come out of here, walk up to them and start trying to, you know, back them off of the point. Because if you can charge the Hammond who's about to roll in and get the quicker win before they can stall, that'll be a lot better than shielding nothing on the left side. Pin Bap, that's fine. And then we win.
Victory.
I have to ask, do you know about the Fire Strike cancel animation thing?
No.
Justice will be done.
Do you know about his longer reach when you turn?
Yeah, I know about that.
Okay. So, can't hit at certain points, but if he turns, he can hit at a longer distance. One thing that you can do in order to get a lot more burst damage off is he has this animation where he swings. Swings right, swings left. If you swing and hit the target halfway through, you can Fire Strike immediately after, and he pretty much doesn't do the whole swing of his hammer. So you'll swing and then Fire Strike. Obviously I didn't hit him the first time, but you get the idea. You want to swing, and as soon as you get the hit marker or get the hit off of him, you Fire Strike immediately afterwards in order to get the burst damage off. So, swing, Fire Strike. He's 1 HP.
Do I have
Easy.
your attention yet?
You can do this with multiple targets because Fire Strike goes through multiple targets, especially if you have shattered people in front of you. What you can do is you'll swing on all of them. You do one swing, right to left, you know, try and get as much range as you can, and then crouch, and if you have people set up like this, Fire Strike them on the ground, because then the Fire Strike will glide along the floor more since it's at a lower angle. If you kind of just Fire Strike the floor, you're probably going to hit maybe 1 or 2 people, besides crouching and Fire Striking, hitting 3 or 4 people. That's 100 damage off of everybody who's crouched down, and, you know, the 75 or 80, whatever damage that you get off of swinging. We did that.
Double kill.
Yeah, so you see, that's pretty much an instant kill right there. Slam, swing, Fire Strike, pretty much killing everyone. I will say, worry about your teammates. That's a great aspect that you have, but you also have to worry about doing damage as well. You are the main tank. You have to try to lead your team, so try to be more vocal in voice chats. I know it's a bit hard because it's platinum and everybody can be toxic. Just try to chill. If people start flaming, whatever, ignore them, do your best. You have great potential. I can see that you're trying, you're struggling. That's fine. Everybody has those times, but I would say do me a favor and just look back at your own replays. Every time you play a game, let's say you play 3 times, okay? If you look at individually how you play Reinhardt throughout those 3 games and realize your weaknesses throughout those 3 games, like, hey, I'm not using my hammer enough. What's up with that? You start working on that in the next game, and then in the next game, you know, stuff like that. So I would say be a little more hammer happy than charge and shield happy. You use Fire Strike very well. You've only missed a couple of times, which was good. The more value you can get out of Fire Strike, the faster you can get hammers, because every person that you hit with a Fire Strike is 7% to your ult charge. So if you can hit 6 people, you're pretty much halfway to your ultimate right there. So don't worry about pins as much, because they are an instant kill, yes, for low HP targets, but you also have to worry about where is this pin going to take me, and is my team behind me if I pin them in this location. Using your shield, know what you're shielding, because if you're shielding nothing, then there's no point in putting your shield up. Is there any questions that you had, by the way?
You pretty much helped me out, bro.
Okay. Preservation. Your shield preservation is very good. Your charges are a bit iffy, and you don't use your hammer enough. So just work on that stuff, and you'll be a lot better at Rein. But yeah, you have great potential, man. I can see why you're struggling. I can see the issues. Your main tank. You need to be vocal to your team. That's what I would say.
Thanks, bro.
So good luck. I hope this will help you climb, and good luck.